Good morning, everybody, and today I'm delighted to be joined as part of our series of local business and supporting calls that we've called our Isolation Inspiration. And today I'm with Gabrielle Preston-Banks, who is a rapid transformational therapist and coach. So Gabrielle, good morning to you first of all.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me on the call. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for sharing some time today out of your busy day. Before we get into what I'd like you to do today would be just to share some mind hacks with people watching, as with ways how they could perhaps relieve some anxiety and stress right now, because I know you've got some very simple techniques that we can do in a matter of minutes here today. And I appreciate that a lot of what you do, and you can talk about that shortly, is a much bigger, or not too long, because the key is in the title, it's rapid, but just some simple steps today that we can go through that would really help people from this call. But just quickly, give me a bit of background, Gabrielle, if you mind, on your background, if you don't mind first.
Okay, yeah, happy to, Lottie, thank you. So yeah, I'm a rapid transformational therapist and coach, and I've studied how the mind works for many years, and I've come across this therapy through having some difficulties myself, and I found it amazing and it just works. And through that I studied and took this on board, and now I'm doing it myself. So
tell me what, I mean, it's called RTT for short, so tell me, what is it?
So it's a combination of hypnotherapy, CBT, NLP and psychotherapy, and those four things combined together make it an extremely powerful therapy. And how it differs to other therapies or traditional therapies, it works really fast. So whereas other therapies, you might go to therapy for 6 months, a year, sometimes even years, or doctors just give you pills to take. With my therapy, you come to me 2-3 times and you're just done. It absolutely works that quickly.
So how does it work?
So people come to me for all sorts of issues. So it might be depression, it might be anxiety, it might be drinking, drugs, it might be simply that they can't move forward in business because they're stuck with something that they're hanging on to. And it could be eating issues, it can be phobias, but it's never the presenting issue. And it's the same if you go to any therapy, it's never the presenting issue. And what I understand from it is it's something that lies beneath. So it's either a belief or a feeling that you've hung on to. Something's happened to you in your past, maybe a trauma, maybe a tiny little thing that happened to you at school, or something that's happened, and you've hung on to this thought. You've trapped it away in your subconscious, and the therapy that I use gets to the subconscious, and we open the subconscious up, we look at it, we get you to understand it, and we get rid of it there and then, so that it just works.
Wow. Well, who are your clients then?
So my clients are wide ranging. So my youngest client has been 3 years old, and my eldest client's been 78 years old.
Wow.
Men, women, anybody that's suffering with something that they don't want to, or suffering, or they have something that's just simply holding them back and they can't move forward in life. And then when I help them, they achieve a better life, and they just feel free, they feel lighter, they feel brighter, and they can just get on with whatever it is they want to get on with in life. And sometimes it's sports professionals often come to me and they want to perform better, exam results. So it's not all problems. Sometimes it's just business people that just want to get further with their business and become unstuck.
I suppose sometimes the person might be in a pretty dark place, but hiding it very well. So I guess, or I hope maybe somebody watching this might think they might be able to help somebody, a member of their family or a friend that might be in need. We've all got a lot of worry, anxiety and stress right now in our lives. It's happening the world over, and there's very few people that are so secure in their environment that they're not troubled by any of this. So there's going to be a lot of people that I hope can take something from our call today. Would you be able to share 3 mind hacks with me then, Gabrielle, if you wouldn't mind, that might be able to help some of us to get through, like you say, a particularly difficult meeting or an appointment or a conversation or just a period of time that they're struggling with?
Yeah, absolutely. And I like to call it mind hacks and mind health, because I've never liked the word mental health. It doesn't resonate with me, so I always use the word mind hacks, mind health. It seems kinder. I just prefer it. So I've got 3 really useful ones, and particularly for this time now, because there are so many people that have never suffered with anxiety that are suddenly, anxiety is coming up for them. But these can be used at any time for any situation. So one is really simple. So when we're in these times and we're worried about things, we're tending to hold our bodies quite tense, and we're walking around quite tense, and our bodies are like this, and we're not even realizing, but we can go a whole day like this. Suddenly, we're just clenched and we're like this. So really, really simple. Just drop your shoulders. So just drop your shoulders and shake out your arms, and just shake your arms and movement. And you can do that anyway. You can just be sitting at your desk and just make sure those shoulders are dropped, and straight away you can feel a relief. And anxiety is about being in a state. So it's a state, and it's not a real state. And we can choose to change that state. And this is just one thing we can do to change it. So something else we can do is the way that we think about things and the words that we use. And this is really powerful. This is probably the most powerful one. So when things are happening that, and often we say to ourselves, well, that was a disaster, and that was a nightmare, and this is a terrible thing. So sometimes, you might drop your phone, you might smash your phone, your children might be playing up, they might not have slept all night. And you wake up in the morning, or you've dropped your phone and you say, I've just had a disaster, I've just had a nightmare. You ring up a friend and you say, I'm having a nightmare of a day, the kids are doing this. And it's simple. We just change our language, because when we say to our minds that we're having a nightmare, your mind hears, you're having a nightmare. And it goes back to those times where your mind had to run from a tiger because it was being threatened. So it goes straight into fight or flight. And this is damaging to the body, and it's not only damaging to your body, it stops you from reacting. You can't make decisions, your head empties, because you're getting ready for this fight or flight. So a really simple switch is just to say different words. So you say, this is a challenge, this is my children are being children, and it's not easy right now, but I've coped with this before, I can cope with this. And you say, I've got phenomenal coping skills, and you just use different words, and your mind will just stay calm. You're telling your mind that you can manage this situation. You say, this is a challenge, but I can do this. You say, I've got this. And straight away your mind changes its state. It doesn't go into fight and flight. So all those chemicals don't start attacking your body, reducing your immune system, because that's exactly what it does. Just through those simple words, just that tiny little change can change your state. And then another powerful one, and you can do this when you feel anxiety. A lot of my anxiety clients, I get them to do this every day as part of their routine anyway, even before the anxiety comes up. So it's a breathing technique. And it's really useful, and it's so useful that Navy SEALs use this technique to de-stress. And it's called box breathing. And you simply breathe, and as you breathe, you draw a box. And we'll do it together. We'll just do 2 rounds of it, so that you've had a go at doing it. When you do it for yourself, you need to do it at least 8 times for it to have the full effect. But you're just breathing in for 5, you're holding for 5, you're exhaling for 5, and you're holding for 5. So let's just do that together. So we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So inhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 5, 2. Exhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And hold for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one more time. Inhale through the nose. 2, 5. Hold for 5. And this time when you exhale, just exhale out through your mouth, all that tension, all that stress. Just imagine it all leaving your body, and then hold for 5. And you just keep doing that, and you do it at least 8 times, and all that tension, all that stress, and it would just change your state of mind, and it just works.
That's amazing. Okay, I shall be doing that then every morning. I'll have a go at that. I mean, I think it's a little bit like the kind of principle, I suppose, of yoga, in that you're in that moment. And I suppose, is that part of it, Gabrielle, that you're literally really focusing on the breathing and the holding? Is that?
But it's also filling your body with the oxygen and all the good stuff as well. So yes, and the visualization, and also the visualization of exhaling all that stress, all that tension, actually imagining it leaving your body, really works.
Fantastic. So tell me some of your success stories, because I've read some of your testimonials, and they are incredible how you've helped some really challenging scenarios with people, and how you've helped them overcome them and really make some super goals. So give me a couple of examples, if you wouldn't mind, of some great stories that you can share.
So I've had some really major ones, and then more minor ones where people are just changing their lives. But a couple of big ones would be, I've had several clients come to me with quite debilitating depression, and they've had it for 10 years, sometimes 15 years. And I've had 2 recently, and they've come to me for 1 round, so 1 month, which is really 1 session and 1 coaching session. And then they've been on antidepressants for 10 years, and they're no longer on antidepressants. And this is just 1 month's worth of work with me, which I think is amazing. And then I had another client who was, since the age of 16, been taking drugs, and is now 38. This guy was at the end of his tether, just not in a good way at all, really wanted to do something about it, never been able to, came to me for 2 sessions, no longer takes drugs at all, and as a bonus no longer drinks neither, so completely clean, doing really well, changing his business has picked up, his life has picked up, he's got a new girlfriend, he's got a child who he spends a lot more time with, and many more scenarios. I help people with their health too. I have been working recently with a cancer patient who's has bone cancer and been on painkillers for the last 5 years and regular treatment, now off their painkillers, and they've never been able to do that, and they've been off their painkillers for the last 2 months, and waiting to have some tests to see if the cancer's actually left the body as well. So the therapy is quite amazing, how it works, who it can help. I'm currently helping a couple of clients who are suicidal, which is quite sad, but not so, because I know I can help them. So this is amazing that I'm so happy when somebody reaches out. And often when it's that case, when it's that serious, it can be family members that have reached out to me and said, can you help my sister? Can you help my mum? Can you help my brother? And when they come to me and I can give them the help, it's such an amazing feeling. It's, if I can help somebody every day when I wake up in the morning, it just makes me feel amazing that I've helped somebody.
Well, you're very generously making an offer, aren't you, of a 15-minute discovery call for people to talk to you about any concerns they've got, and for you to make a plan of action for them. So how can people get hold of you, Gabrielle?
Yeah, so I'm going to put my phone number below this video. Really good way to get hold of me is send me a text. It's quicker than email. You can email me, but I respond quicker to text, and I communicate with all my clients on WhatsApp and text. And we can arrange a call, can jump on a 15-20 minute call with you. I'm really happy to do that, to give help and advice as well as a discovery call. But a discovery call, I can find out what's going on with maybe you, maybe a family member or a friend that you know that's suffering that you might want to talk to me about. So I can give you advice, or we can talk about what the treatment can be, and how I could work with you. Either is fine. I'm happy. I'm just happy to help in these times because I know it's tough.
That's really very kind of you. And I know that you do have an office, and you're based at AUK on Wharf Road in Stamford, but typically you would be helping people using online platforms such as,
Yeah.
say, with Zoom. So it's not that people need to come in and see you. In fact, you look after people overseas, and you're very adept at dealing like we're doing, like we're all learning using these methods, aren't you? So it's quite normal for you to have this kind of two-way screen conversation, isn't it? So people need to be
Yeah.
concerned that you know that it's an unusual way of dealing with it. It's something that you do.
It's 80% of, I would say, well, at the moment 100%, but normally 80% of my clients I treat over Skype and Zoom. And I have clients in America, Australia, New Zealand. I have them all over the world, and many clients in Rutland as well. So but even here, and people just find it comfortable because I'm treating them over Zoom. They're in their own environment, they're in their own home, and I'm quite close. It's quite intimate still. I still get the chemistry from them. Unbelievably, it just works. People find it just comfortable because they don't have to adapt to a new space. They can get themselves comfy, pop a blanket on them, and sit with the heat on or not on, however they want it, and get themselves nice and comfy and feel relaxed in their own space. So it works. Yeah.
Well, it sounds incredible. So thank you for your really generous offer to help people out right now with the discovery call. That's so kind of you. And thank you for sharing a few of your mind hacks there to help people. Please, everybody, do follow Gabrielle on her social media, and reach out to her if you've got any concerns or challenges, we should say, or indeed anybody you know or love is you think going through a particularly hard time. Reach out to Gabrielle. I'm sure she'll be able to help you. You know, it's a difficult time for everybody, so you know there's no shame in wanting to have a bit of help, and change that from a tricky situation to something that you can manage and be in charge of. So thank you so much, Gabrielle, for sharing these thoughts with us today, and we'll put all of the links and details that people can make contact with you, and thank you once again, and I hope you stay safe.
Thank you, Lottie. And I just want to say to everybody, stay safe and look after your loved ones, and be kind, and just think about people that maybe are on their own, and be kind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you.